So the business of being a trade attaché, in fact, is blending commercial work with diplomacy. And it's important to know the geographical strengths of your country. In the case of Sri Lanka, we have taken an example. Sri Lanka is a platform which looks over Asia, large number of economies and large center for population in the world, and also the growth of the population is forecasted in this area. And Sri Lanka has a trade agreement with India, Pakistan, which means that through Sri Lanka, anybody who invests in Sri Lanka, they have access to the Indian market and to the Pakistani market, which adds up to about 1.2 to 1.3 billion people. And that's a market. In addition to Sri Lanka itself, which is 20 million. But we have to market Sri Lanka as a gateway to Asia on one hand, and as a gateway to India, Pakistan on the other hand. We have to market Sri Lanka as a country which has educated English-speaking population and workforce, and for any company to come and invest there, they can benefit from these assets to work in the rest of the world. At the same time, we have to study which trade agreements Sri Lanka has signed with various large trade blocs, and see if there is duty-free or quota-free access for Sri Lankan products to other parts of the world. The example, of course, which is the complex example of textile and garments, that Sri Lanka is part of agreements with the US market and the European market. But we have to study this with other sectors. We have to study this with the IT sector, we have to study this with the rubber sector, we have to study this with the food and processed food and spices and tea, as well as with the tourism sector, to see what kind of tourism linkages could be set up between Sri Lanka and other countries of the world. What kind of investments could be attracted to Sri Lanka, and what kind of investments Sri Lanka as a country would like to attract. For companies to be working with Sri Lanka, or for Sri Lankan businesses to be working throughout the world, there are so many scenarios that could boost business. You could think about joint ventures, you could think about selling through a sales agent, you could think about the technology transfer, where, for instance, an Italian machinery company could do a technology transfer in the food processing sector to Sri Lanka, and not only work with the Sri Lankan business sector, but also go beyond and offer the products with Italian technology made in Sri Lanka to the rest of the world. During our subsequent meetings on the phone and through email, we're going to talk about each country and its potential of commerce, trade, investment and export for Sri Lanka, and your role as a trade attaché on how to become an efficient representative of your country to attract investment towards your country. Thank you very much.